A few years ago, I made an Aqara video showing off different automations you can create with their products. Here we have the FP2, which is able to create different automations based on movement in this room. I've done different things with sensors on the door to automatically turn on and off lights. Now, I love that those have worked continuously for the last few years, and they've become my favorite automations because they're just working all on their own. Now, today we're going to be doing the same thing with 3 new products. Here we have the Aqara Hub M3. We have the Aqara Smart Lock U300, and then we have the Aqara Smart Switch H2US. So today we're going to check out what's unique about each of these different devices and show you how they can work together. Thanks so much to Aqara for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. Now let's start by talking about the Aqara Hub M3, as that is what's going to be able to control all of the different devices we're using today and make these really awesome automations. So first off, this has a bunch of different protocols in it that you're able to use with your devices. So first we have the Aqara Zigbee devices that can connect directly to this. You can also connect Aqara Thread devices to it. And then it has Matter support, as it is a Matter bridge. So you can take other Matter supported devices and connect them directly to this. It also has built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And then you are able to use the IR blaster in here to control any other devices and then connect them over Matter through the other smart home. So we're going to be able to connect this TV back here today so that we can have control over it through Matter, which is really cool. Now, one thing is then you'll be able to take all those devices you incorporate into this and put them on the different smart home platforms. So you'll be able to link this to Google Home, Amazon Alexa, Apple Home, Smart Things, Home Assistant, as well as Homey. So let's dive in to see how they get this connected and what else it can do. Now, right in here, you can see that there is an Ethernet port. So this actually has power over Ethernet. So if you just have an Ethernet port somewhere and a power over Ethernet network switch, you'll be able to plug this in and get it powered, which is great. Or you can just plug it in with USB-C, have it powered, and then work over the network and everything. So it's going to work very quickly, and it's going to be very secure having those different protocols within your home. Now with the network, this is also an edge hub. So it's going to be able to have local control of your different devices, and it's going to be able to help control other hubs. So I already have a Hub M2 in my home. If I get this connected, it can then talk to the Hub M2, kind of be its controller, and then it will work seamlessly with whatever hubs I already have in my home. If I want to, I can go through a process where I can automatically switch everything over that's connected to my Hub M2 to the Hub M3 so that I have a seamless integration to the new hub, which is really nice to have instead of going through and setting up everything again. Now, one other thing that you can do with the Hub M3 is it has a 360-degree IR blaster built into here. So what that means is right here on the edge, if I plug this into a room and I want to control my TV, I can program it to control the TV behind me to turn it on and off, change the volume, and other things. Now, this isn't going to support just your TV, but it will also work with AC conditioners that have IR. So you'll be able to control tons of different devices with this. So it's a great place to mount it in your home somewhere that might have access to those devices, and you'll have all kinds of devices connected in here. So this makes even an IR air conditioner compatible with Matter if you have one of the Aqara sensors in your home to be able to have everything work together, which is great to have so much power in this device. Now, this also comes with a mounting plate here, as well as some screws and a USB-C cable to get it powered. So it's great that you'll be able to mount this anywhere, mount it on a wall. You could have it flat. So it'll be mounted like that where you can see the Aqara symbol right there. So it's so cool how much this Hub M3 can do. Now inside is also a speaker, so it can play different sounds based on automations and other things that you run in your home, but there is no microphone and camera, which adds added security to the Hub M3. With that local control, the Hub M3 also has end-to-end encryption. So this is going to be a very secure device, and it also has 8 GB of storage locally on here to be able to get all of that processed. Let's get it set up in the Aqara app. Once plugged in here in the Aqara app, I can just go through and add an accessory.
Ready to connect. Please open the Aqara Home app.
And right here, I have the Hub M3. Yes, the yellow light is blinking. And now we're going to scan the QR code on the back. And here I'm getting a Matter pop-up to integrate it into the Google Home app. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm going to choose if I want this wired or Wi-Fi. So we're going to go with a Wi-Fi connection and connect it to our Wi-Fi.
Network connecting. Please wait. The account is bound successfully. Welcome aboard.
And we're going to keep the name Hub M3, and this is going to go into the office. And then here you have different icons and things you can set up for the app. And let's go through and do the update. Now, the first thing it's telling me once I get it connected is I can use the Hub M3 to start my journey with IoT and how I can incorporate it into other smart home platforms. So anything that I connect to the Aqara Hub, I then am able to seamlessly connect it to whatever smart home platform I am using. So it's compatible with Apple Home, Google Home, Amazon Alexa, Samsung SmartThings, Home Assistant, as well as Homey. So let me show you how you would want to transfer all of the devices you have in here to those different platforms once you get them connected, that we'll talk about later in the video. Here under the Hub M3, we have Matter. So after binding devices to the Hub M3, then we can come in here, get the Matter code, and then put it in whatever smart home platform we want to use, and it will take all of those devices and then add it into that. So I'm going to tap Matter code, I'm going to copy the Matter code, and then I'm going to go into whatever platform I want to pair it with. So we have a lot of different options there, and as you do that, then they will all automatically populate and you can use them fully within that platform. And another thing about the Hub M3 is you can connect 127 different devices directly to it. So Zigbee or Thread devices integrated directly into the Hub. Now that we have the Hub M3 here, if we go in, we just get a few settings. You can see what's connected to it, what has infrared control. Here you can set up your hub cluster. So if it's connecting to other hubs and controlling them, here you can integrate with Matter like I just showed. You have the air conditioning mode, and then here you have accidental removal protection. And if we go into the settings, there's a few cool things that we can do. First, we have hub volume, so we can adjust what that sounds like, and that is very crisp and clear sound. And then down here at the bottom, we also have the option for hub migration. So if I wanted to take my Hub M2 and fully migrate it to here, I can do that. Now that we have it set up, let's connect devices directly to this. First, I want to start with the TV here in the back. So here I'm going to go to infrared remote control, and we're going to add the remote, and here we have a TV. And then I'm going to search for Samsung. It already has all of these different codes programmed in there. So I tap Samsung, and then we hit power, and TV turned off just like that. Yes, the TV responded. So now it's going to download the different codes it needs for my TV. And here we can give the accessory a name. So let's call this Office TV and put it in the office. Next, there you go. You can change the style, cards, all that fun stuff. And now we have the controls here. So I can up the volume just like so, and we can power it on and off and everything. And then I can integrate it into automations. Now that we have our hub set up, let's go ahead and add the other devices. Let's start with the Smart Lock U300. And here is everything that comes inside the box. So everything you need to get this set up. Now, again, this works over a latch, not a deadbolt. So it's really cool. It's going to replace the latch. It's got the fingerprint right here, has a keypad, and then you have the handles here. Now, the first thing I need to do is change the orientation of the handle to go the other direction, as it wouldn't fit on the door that way. Then we'll see all the things it can do. And to do that, there is just a screw right here. And once that's removed, it allows us to orient it the other way. Screw that back in. There you can see it will line up right there. And let's do the same here. Now let's get it installed. First try. Now before we install the lock, we need to put in this little pin. Now right here on the side, there's this little nub that you need to push down to lock into place. So right there, just gonna grab this, push it in there, and now it's locked into place. Then we can put it on. Now we're going to add the back plate with the proper screws for the size of your door. And make sure you don't over tighten these. Now we're going to take the cable and place it on the back. And now we're going to push the wire back in. Push that into place. And screw it into place. Now add the 4 AA batteries that are provided. Pop that in place. And then there was a Matter pairing code back here, but there's also one over here on the side. And because I've already set up the Aqara app here, it says it automatically found it. Now I need to scan the code, and let's give it a name and then put it in the office. And we are done here. And then I can go through and add my users. So you can add a 6 to 10 digit PIN code. You can add a fingerprint, as well as you could add home key. Now the lock is officially set up, so nobody can get in at any time. It automatically locks it every time you shut the door. Here I can add my fingerprint and then simply get in. Now, what's cool is you also have the PIN code right here. You can use an NFC device, or right in here, you also have the option to use a key. So it does come with 2 different keys that can be used. So again, it unlocked just like that. And over on this side, I'm always able to open it. There's no locking or unlocking on this. It's just able to quickly let me out without needing to unlock from the inside. Now, after following the instructions on the Aqara app, I was able to get this installed pretty easily. Now, some of the great things about the Aqara U300 is it is changing out your handle instead of the deadbolt, which adds some extra enhanced security benefits. Now, one of the problems I'm having here with my office is that kids are coming down all the time and they're able to just come in anytime and interrupt me. But now, if they try the handle, it does not work anymore. They cannot get into the door. The ways that you can get into the door is by using the keypad right here. So I can then type in my code. And there it unlocks and I'm able to get in. The other way is we have the fingerprint sensor right here. So when I go and grab the handle, so there it's not working, push the handle and boom, it allows me to go in instantly. Now, one thing you might have noticed is how quick it was able to unlock. There is no mechanism that needs to turn to unlock the door, so it's super seamless. So watch again, it is locked. I push my fingerprint on there and boom, it opens up, no needing to wait for it to unlock the deadbolt. Now you can use up to 50 different fingerprints with the U300. There are also many ways to lock and unlock it. I can use the Aqara app to lock and unlock the device. I have my different voice decisions I can set up, and you can also use this directly over Matter without even using an Aqara hub if you want to. I also have the option to use an NFC device to unlock it. You can get an NFC tag from Aqara to be able to do that. And then you also have devices like Apple HomeKey supported devices like the Apple Watch to be able to unlock it. If the battery does run out, you do have a USB-C port on either side that you're able to use to give it power to then enter through the door. Now, I mentioned auto lock, how when you shut the door, it automatically locks so no one can get in the door. This is great. If I come in here, the kids are following me, shut the door, they can't get in. But maybe I want a few minute time period after I do shut the door. If I'm going to get a snack, come back, I want it to be open still. You can go in the app and adjust the auto locking time frame. So you could set it up to, I think, 15 to an hour if you want it to wait to lock then. But sometimes you may not want it to auto lock at all, and that is where you would want to use passage mode. Passage mode is great if you're going to move into your home or something like that, and you want a time period where it is not going to continually auto lock. So once you press the button on the back and then you verify with fingerprint, it turns on the passage mode. And then this will disable the auto locking so that then we can go in and out with the interruption of it keep locking on others so that we could keep moving in or whatever it is, the event that's happening that day.
To enable passage mode, verify with user fingerprint, NFC, or password. Passage mode enabled.
So there I have turned on passage mode, super easy to do. And now I've shut the door, as you can see, and it's not going to lock. It will just allow me to go in and come out, then in, and then out. And shutting the door again and again, we can keep going in without any issues or having problems, people coming to the event, going in and out and not locking themselves out. And then whenever I'm done using passage mode, push the button on the back.
Passage mode disabled.
And now it has locked again. So here in the settings, we can go to the auto lock timer. Instead of lock immediately, I can set it to 30 seconds, 15, an hour, 2 hours, or even never. So it's great that we have that, as well as we can go through here and we can adjust the passage mode. So I could have it be permanent passage mode, or I could set it for 10 minutes, a few hours, all the way up to an entire day if you want to. So really cool, you have those adjustments to be able to select exactly how long you want those features to be enabled. And here in the settings, we also have the option to connect it to a Matter controller. So connecting this to my M3 hub directly to add the automation feature. And lastly, the Aqara U300 has an 11-month battery life, so it's just going to keep working and working. Oh, I also forgot to show you what I actually keep in this room. That's right. a room full of cookies. Delicious. Next up, let's talk about the Aqara Smart Switch H2US. Now, this is a really unique smart switch, and it has a ton of features. Hopefully, we'll be able to cover them all. But first up, there are 3 different models. First, we have this model, which is the 1-channel model. That means this light switch can then be wired directly to the white switch in my room to turn that on and off. Then you have the second light switch here that can be set to control different smart bulbs you have in the room, or other smart devices in your home, or even automations within the Aqara app. And then you'll be able to press or double press and long press for different actions. Then you have the 2-channel model where it's very similar design, but they're able to control 2 different lights that you have in that same box that are wired. So if I have a light over here that's wired and a light over here that's wired, I could control them separately with these. But then you also have the option to switch these to a wireless switch that could do the same similar actions. Real quick, on the single channel model that I have here, I could make it so the buttons are actually not turning on and off the power to the light switch. Maybe you have a smart bulb or something in that, and then I could use these to control those without ever cutting the power to the light bulb. Really cool that this is able to do that. And then third, you have the 3-channel model, so you're able to have 3 different lights wired directly, and then you have 1 wireless button as well that is able to control whatever lights you have in the home. So a ton of different options there. Again, I am using the 1-channel model today. Now, one thing that's unique about these is it does have a neutral wire, but that is optional. So if you don't have neutral wires in your home, you could use it, but you do need to use the neutral wire if you're going to have it set to control different smart light bulbs in the room. So that's just something you need to know about. And then also this is compatible with single pole or different 3-way circuits. So there's wiring guide right here to help you get it wired correctly in your home. And then this is also unique because it does support different protocols, and you can change what protocol you're using. So say you want to have it work with Thread, you're able to do that. Or if you want to switch it over to Zigbee, you are able to do that as well. And then you have all kinds of features like power monitoring in here. So there you have Thread or Zigbee support. You have the 2-in-1 neutral, and you can do the 3-way control wireless switch mode or convert to a wireless switch. So ton of different features. Let's go ahead and wire this and get it set up in the app. So here on our light switch, I have removed the existing switch. I previously had this one tagged off, indicating that this is the load. And if I take my voltage tester here, testing that one, that is the line. So this is going to go on the line cable. That's the power coming in. Now, if you do this, make sure you cap these off before you turn the power back on to test, and definitely pick up a voltage tester. Now, if this was a 3-way, you would have another traveler wire here for the blue, but I don't. So you're just going to have the line wire for the power and the load wire for the lights. Here is how I have it wired up. So there you have the black to the line, the brown to the load, the green to the ground, which is the copper, the blue is capped off, and then we have the white to the neutral. Let's screw this in and get the power turned back on. Power's back on, and the switch works great. There you can hear it has a nice click. And then here there is the Matter code if you need it again. And then this comes with a screwless wall plate. Installed. Next, we're going to pair it to the Aqara hub. Now, I also have the option to put it in pairing mode to connect it to Thread or other Matter controllers as well. So when you first turn it on, it's going to show a blinking green light right here. If that goes away, to put it in pairing mode, we're just going to press the button twice and hold down for 5 seconds. And now it should go into pairing mode. We're going to tap Add Accessory. I'm going to tap Matter, and I'm going to scan the Matter code. So here, Google's giving me the option to put it in there, but we're going to connect it right here in the Aqara app. And there the light is blinking. And now the device is registered. So there we have the name, where it's located. And then we can give it a different icon here that we want. And here you can see a few more details about it. And then here we have the second switch. So you have the main switch, which is going to turn the lights on and off in the room. And then here we have the wireless switch. So we'll just keep that wireless switch. And then here we can give it a icon for the name card. And now we have set that up. We're now going to pair the Smart Switch H2US to my Aqara hub here. So all I need to do is go into the Aqara app, tap add, we're going to add an accessory, and now we're going to pair a Matter device. The Matter device is already set up. There is a code in the instructions here that we can pair. It is now connecting to that. And because of the first time we're adding this device to Matter, we can start accessing it here. It is a new device. It is not already in use. And then from here, I'd be able to pair it with my other smart homes if I want to, but we're gonna keep it right here in Aqara for now. Now, a few benefits of the H2US when you connect it over Thread. So this is how you are able to connect it directly to other smart home ecosystems without needing to use the Aqara hub. So it makes it nice that you can easily pair it to those ecosystems. You still get the option to do the wired switch as well as the buttons on the other switch. And then you can still use the power monitoring with other ecosystems if they support that. So that is nice that you can use on Thread, and you'll just pair it with the pairing code like normal. But then there are some extra benefits you get if you are pairing this over Zigbee. Now, when pairing it over Zigbee, you do need to have a Aqara hub, but then you get some extra benefits with that. You have the wireless switch option, you have the wired on off, you have the power monitoring, you have something called Mars Tech, you have relay lock, custom press mode. You have the option to decouple switch mode. So instead of using the wired switch, you can actually decouple it and use that as a wireless switch. And then you have the option to reverse the indicator light. So a few extra benefits there connecting over Zigbee. Let's go ahead and switch this to connect it to Zigbee through the hub. Now to switch this to the Zigbee protocol, we need to factory reset it by pressing a button 10 times. And then we should see the green flash indicating it is now in pairing mode. So right now we're going to then go to the Aqara app, and here it found a new device. So we're going to tap add accessory. Now on your phone, you need the Aqara app, and you need to have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on. And then right here we have the option to switch protocol. So there we're going to go from Thread to Zigbee protocol, and now we are going to switch. So this is going to take some time as it's downloading the information it needs, going to do the update, and then we'll be able to finish the pairing. So we're going to continue through the setup right here, and we're going to pair it to the Hub M3, and sweet, we finally have it in here. So we're going to name this Office Light Switch. There, it's in the office. So you have the first button here, so we could have that be the lights. I do have some candle lights that I could set it to, so we could find a card for that. But then here we have the second button, which is the Office. So we're going to call it Office Automations, and done. All right, there we go. First button, we can switch on and off. Here we have switch settings, so you can have this be a wireless switch, so we can change it right there. And then here you can adjust those card names that we made. And then here we have quick two-way control. Then there is a quick two-way sync option, so you can actually set this to automatically control another switch. So if you had multiple of these in your home, you could set them to be in sync, creating your own three-way, which is pretty cool. But let's head to the table and see what else this can do. To create some really awesome automations, I want to take other Matter devices that I have in my home and incorporate them into the Hub M3. Now to do this, it does get a little complicated in each device because it's a little bit different, but here are some tips to getting set up. So if you already have a Matter compatible device in your home and you've never connected it over Matter, it's actually really easy. All you need to do is unplug and plug in the device, or turn it off and turn it back on, and then it turns on Matter pairing mode, and that lasts for about 15 minutes. Then you'll head into the Aqara app, add an accessory, Matter, and you'll scan the code that's on the product, or you'll go to the original app that it was in and copy the code. So let me show you what that's like. So here in the Aqara app, I would tap the plus, add accessory, add Matter accessory, and then here I would put the code. I could scan the code, or here I can put in the pairing code. Now, if you don't have the code on the device, you can go into the manufacturer's app. Like here, I have this light I want to add. I'm going to go into the settings. I'm going to go to device info, and then here we have the Matter setup code. So there I can simply copy the code, go back here, paste it, and go through the setup process. Works great. Now in other instances, if the Matter code has already been used, you would need to go to the app that you use the Matter code in. So if you've already set up a Matter device in the Google Home app, you'll go to the device in the Google Home app, copy that code, come back here, and paste it or scan it so that it can then be incorporated. Now, every once in a while, you'll run into the problem where it just cannot connect to the device. Maybe it can't find it when it's in pairing mode, or it just isn't working. And the best thing to do there is to factory reset the device. So here I have a light bulb that I'm not able to get paired. So I'm gonna factory reset it up into the app that it goes to, and then I'll copy the pairing code and come put it here in Aqara app. So here's my device. I'm going to simply remove it. Then I'm going to add a device. You can see it went into pairing mode. So this is the L53. Now that I have it reconnected here, I'm going to go into the settings. I'm going to go down to device info. Here we have the Matter setup code, and I'm going to copy that code. Now I'm going to head back here into the Aqara app, and I'm simply going to paste that code there and confirm. Once it has found an available device to link, it will pop up this menu here, and you can check the supported devices there, but we need to tap start accessing the network. And then here it's saying, is this a new device? Meaning, is it a new Matter code you haven't used before? Or is it already in use? Do you need to pull it from somewhere else? So here, this is one that hasn't been used. That's had the quickest success rate, especially if we factory reset it, we know it hasn't been used anywhere else. And then it's going to give you the option here to connect it to my Wi-Fi. And then it's going to go through this step where it is able to then connect it right in the Aqara app over Matter. So once you see it hit number 4, we know it's good to go. And then here I can give it a name, I can change the icon, and so on. I've then given it the name and added it to the board, and now I have the option to adjust some of the colors here. Let's tone it down just a little bit, a little too bright there for the room. Now that we have that, I can go into my boards here and check out my office, and you can see all the devices that I have set up, and I can even edit, reorganize these, and make it all look super nice. And so here are all the different devices in the room that I can add. One of the hardest ones was this one over here because it's using a little robot to push the button for the light. But there you go, right in the Aqara app, I was able to turn it off and turn it on. Now I think it would be awesome if when I came in this room, all I did was push the wireless button over there and it turned on all the lights for my setup with one touch and turned on the TV. So now that we have everything incorporated in here, let's get that set up. So I'm gonna head down here to the automations. I'm going to tap new automation. So if, and we're gonna go to our light switch again. And now you can see I have a ton of new devices in here. So here under the office can lights, then we have the option for press. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the double press here. So if I double press, then it's going to turn on all kinds of devices. So we're gonna sort this down to my office. And here we're gonna start with this light and we're gonna turn that one on. Then we're gonna add another key light. We're gonna turn that on. Office TV, power that. Actually, we're gonna switch to turn on or off. Then I can just do a double press each time and it will change from on to off. And here we have it all set up. So when I double press, then it's going to turn on or off. So if they're already on, it's gonna turn them off. If they're off, it's gonna turn them on. If this gets confused at all, maybe some are opposite, I might want to create a new routine where it only turns off and then I could do the hold where it turns everything on. So we'll try that out later. But here we're going through turning everything on. It is turning the can lights off always, so that if I leave the room, double press the button, everything in the room is off. At least most of them. Some of the lights back here aren't supported, so I'll have to think about those later. So there we have gone through and added all that. I could even go and extend the automation where I add a delay, where it takes time to turn them off or something turns off a little bit later and so on. So that looks great. So we're gonna go ahead and save this as office wall on off. Now next I want to set up an automation that is able to turn on a light outside of the room because whenever I leave, it's pretty dark and there's always kids' toys in the way. So I was checking under the smart lock to see what automations they had. And there are automations where if it's not fully locked, it will start a routine, or if it's locked or unlocked. Sadly, there's no automation if the door is opened or closed, so we're gonna have to do something else. So I'm gonna head back to the wireless switch and I'm going to create an automation here where when I press and hold the button, it's then going to turn off the main lights that I have in this room, and then it's going to turn on the basement lamp that I have right outside the room. It will turn it on for 5 minutes because I've set a delay, and then I have it turn off the light out there. So let's save this, try these out. So I'm done working for the day. I come over here. All I need to do is double press the wireless switch. And instantly we started seeing a few lights turn off. All the ones on the back here, you saw the truck over there, the on air, and then at the desk we saw the lights turn off as well. That worked flawlessly. Let's say I come back in and I'm ready for the workday to start. Double press the button. Everything then turns back on. There we had the TV turn on. We had our main light there. All the lights in the backdrop. That just saved me a ton of time being able to have that all done at once, which is awesome. So I've added a few other automations. One of them is when I'm done recording a video over here at the wall, I can then move over to where I'm gonna edit, but I want all these lights off and the lights above to turn on. So I'm just gonna use the single press for that. So one press, I've created a scene where it turns off all the lights, and then I have the automation run where the lights up above turned on, and now I can see and come over here and start working on the computer. But now if I exit the room, I want the light out there to turn on because it's very dark in the other room there. So I have the third automation that you can do with the wireless switch here, which is to hold down the button. It's automatically going to turn off the lights in this room and then turn on the light in the hall so that I can see where I'm going. So here with a long press, I can turn the lights off in here, and then it's going to turn on the light out here. So that instantly turned off the lights in here, turned on this nice little lamp here so I can see where I'm going without tripping over any of the toys. And then after 5 minutes, the lamp will automatically turn off. Now I could also incorporate the Smart Lock U300 with all kinds of automations. So I could have it where if I unlock this door, it's automatically going to turn off lights. And then I can also have it set where if the battery gets low, it would turn a certain light to red. So I know to come and change the battery. So a lot of options available. Now that's just a few different options of what you can do with automations with these different devices. I love how they're all able to work together to make life much easier. Sometimes I'm spending most of my time getting set up, turning on these lights, getting everything ready, but now I can double press that button, things are ready to go, and now I can keep working without the kids keep coming into the room. They've been coming down here and the lock just doesn't work. It's been really, really nice. So if you have any further questions about the Aqara Hub M3, the Smart Lock U300, or the Smart Switch H2US, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you've used any of these in your home or have some awesome automations you've used as well, please let us know down in the comments below. I'll also leave a link to all these down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.